Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the Arizona Cardinal Playbook highlight. This part is going to be highlighting the under center formations. The last part, part 1, highlighted the shotgun formations. So if you haven't seen that one, go ahead and check it out. I'll leave a link in the description or annotation, I believe it's called, on the video. Sorry, I'm new to this YouTube thing, guys. But yeah, let's jump right into it. So I'll start from the bottom up. So we'll start with weak flex twins. I pretty much do not run it. I really think I've never come out in this formation before. So not really much to say about it. I don't think it's very good. Not much unique things about it. Not many unique things about it. Sorry, but yeah, I mean the HP misdirection. I think HP misdirection is a pretty good run. So maybe you could mix that in every now and then. But other than that, I don't really see anything too exciting. So moving on to strong, I like the strong, this close like series right here with the Z close, F trail, counter weak, and F flat. So the F trail and the counter weak, I don't really run the F flat, but the counter and the F trail, people are gonna expect it. Like when you come out in this, that's like the #1 thing you expect because it's the only formation that looks like this. I'll go ahead and show you guys. It's like a strong close except for the left receivers split out. So pretty much I always expect the counter if anybody comes out in this, or the F trail. So that's what they'll be expecting, but I mean it's still effective. It's a pretty good run play. You can run it either way. You can run it to the left, playmaker to the right, doesn't really matter. And the F trail play isn't awful either. Go ahead and try to run it to the right here. You can get the outside, try to make a move, get upfield. The F trail, you pretty much just run it just like any other wide trail route. And yeah, I'd recommend subbing in like a receiving halfback or your backup tight end or your starting tight end in the backfield if you wanted to for that play, if you want to try to hit the trail route out the backfield. Other than that, I would say PA scissors, pretty good play action play, pretty staple. A lot of people know about it. Post with the flat or the corner with the flat's a nice combo, and then you got the post going back over the middle, and then the dig coming in across the field. That's good. F angle, very similar to the F trail. Pretty much, if you want a quick hitter out the backfield, it's a good play to go to. Spacing and Z spot are good plays to go to in short yard situations. Just be careful of the auto motion. People might catch on. Pretty much, if I see auto motion, I automatically think mesh or Z spot. So just be careful about that. I would generally like hug the auto motion receiver and just go wherever he goes. So just be careful about throwing that and not throwing an interception. And then PA Power O is actually a good run play, or good play action play. Rather, it's you've got the corner and the flat to the right. You've got a nice flood to the right with the streak, corner, flat. And then you've got the crossing route coming over the middle of the field. Like I said earlier, crossing routes are really good this year. So that's a good play you can mix in. If you like strong, the strong eye, the Cardinals playbook's probably not the best book for you if you do like the strong eye, since they only have strong pro. But if you feel like running it out of this, that's not a bad play to go with. I personally don't really run this much, but it has some validity to being run. iForm Pro, pretty much my feeling about iForm Pro, out of this playbook at least, is there's nothing in iForm Pro that can't be done better in Strong Pro, so I pretty much do not run this formation at all. You see a lot of the same stuff, PA Power O, PA Scissors, Texas, a lot of the same concepts and stuff, and I just think the Strong Eye is better suited for it. This little series right here with the auto motion is the only unique thing about this formation in my opinion. The zone of stretch, zone of misdirection, PA zone of slide. I think it's a good thing you can throw in at the end of a game if you're trying to like milk out the rest of the clock or something. You can throw that in and run that. And your opponent, if you haven't run it yet, your opponent might not, they're not familiar with the Cardinals playbook. They might not know what to expect. Just because I used to run the Cardinals playbook, I'd see the auto motion and have an idea. But there are a lot of plays with auto motion in I form, so even I wouldn't really key in on it unless you started running it like multiple plays in a row. So it's a good clock killer, I guess. I form tight, pretty much don't run it. I like whenever the I form tight has the stretch, but this one does not. I think the running plays out of this one are pretty lackluster. So I pretty much just don't mess with it at all. Same with the I-form type pair. There's a really good counter out of type pair. This one, as you see on the X-Play, is counter weak. Is not the counter. There's another one. It's called HB counter, and it actually goes to the right. I think that's a really good run play. The Rams actually have it, and it's out of this formation, I-form type pair. Just not all playbooks have it, but if you run a playbook that has that counter in it, it's really good. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Aside from that, I probably would not run this formation, just because it's a really run-heavy formation that I don't think is very good for running the ball. Like if I want to run the ball, I'm probably just gonna run, or if I need like one or 2 yards or inches or something, I'm probably just gonna run like 0-1 trap, QB sneak, something like that. So there's really no point in me running that formation, honestly. So Singleback, jumbo, I pretty much don't run. If you want to mix in, if you like Singleback jumbo, PA dive is a pretty alright play. HP misdirection, I'm a fan of that run. Inside zone, PA roll left, both look interesting. PA roll left, you got what looks like a shallow cross with a post. Might be interesting, might try to find something there. Okay, ace normal is a formation I really like. First things first, you can run, well, the 0-1 trap, if you don't know, is probably one of the best runs in the game. So that's like your staple play out of this formation. Really, I only run this formation whenever I need like 1 or 2 yards, and I just come out in 0-1 trap, and it's really tough to stop. So even if your opponent knows it's coming, which most times they do, like by the 3rd or 4th quarter, I've probably run 0-1 trap like 3 or 4 times, and so they know it's coming, and it's still super hard to stop in short yard situations. So that's a really good play to have. Card zone weak is another play that I've seen people run like Singleback ace schemes and try to pretty much just like run outside, run inside play action. So like run inside 0-1 trap, run outside zone weak, stretch, whatever. Yeah, the Cardinals have the stretch. Okay, I'm sorry. So I wouldn't run zone weak. I'd run the stretch. Stretch 0-1 trap, that's your inside outside. You can flip it without your opponent knowing because it's a symmetrical formation. And then you have your play action or quick passes. You've got your PA zone Y corner, which I think is a really good play. You get the corner route, and then you get the flat route out the backfield by the running back and the crossing route. That's a really good play in my opinion. The PA stretch is another interesting play, that the right route by the right receiver, like the weird angled corner, is really good. It can roast man-to-man if you have a good route runner out there. You get the crossing route by the tight end. It's really good. And then also you have Z-spot and HP misdirection motion, which I'm a fan of the HP misdirection. And the reason why, I'll try to show you guys. A lot of times what will happen is, if you watch Carlson, I don't know if it's going to happen, but it happens a lot to me whenever I run this play. He'll block the defensive end for like a split second and then like sift off of him and move up to the safety. And usually that's bad because the guy, I mean, he doesn't block the guy for long, the guy gets you in the backfield. But for some reason, he blocks him for just long enough for you to get around him, and then he gets to the next level. And a lot of times it can result in big plays. So we'll see right there. See, he didn't sift off of him. And sometimes it happens, and sometimes it doesn't. When it does happen, though, it's really nice. Right there. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get outside quick enough. But as you could see, he like blocks him for like a half second, and then moves upfield, like right there. And unfortunately, John Brown couldn't hold his block. But as you can see, I'll go into instant replay. And that's actually why I really like this run. He blocks him for just a little bit. Just enough for you to get around him. And then he moves up to the safety. And as you see, if John Brown is able to hold his block, I have a huge hole. I probably score unless I get hawked down by the safety. But I have a huge hole to run through. So I think that's actually a very underrated run play that I think a lot of people should run more of, personally. So that's about it for ace, Singleback ace. Pretty much 0-1 trap, PA zone Y corner, stretch, PA stretch, HP misdirection motion, really good play. Yeah, that's pretty much what I think about that. Ace pair, I probably would not run, like, ever. I'm just not a really big fan of the formation, the alignment, anything about the formation. So I don't really have much to say about it. I apologize. Same with ace twins. I don't really run ace twins much. Not saying that it's a bad formation. It's just like not a formation that I like. I think there are some pretty good plays in it. PA cards cross looks interesting. You've got HB slant 18, which is a stretch play. You've got PA flanker stretch. Got the HB misdirection like I was just talking about. You have a slip screen. So I think you could come up with a good scheme. I just don't run it much, and I don't want to put out content and put out plays that I don't run much of, and I'm not 100% sure that they're effective. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Bunch base, I would rather the single back bunch, the normal bunch. Bunch base isn't bad though. Got some pretty good plays. Zone to Texas, which is basically Y trail. So run it just like you run any other Y trail play. I don't have to really explain that again. This series right here, PA end around. Everybody runs PA end around. Pretty much all I do, the way I run it, and I think the way everybody runs it, just streak the B receiver that's on the auto motion. And you've got a nice flood with the streak corner flat from the halfback. And the flat route from the halfback, he gets out there really, really quickly, so it's really tough to defend if your opponent's not expecting it. But a lot of people run this play, so generally this is like the #1 thing. You used to always look for like Seattle and Y trail when people came out in single back bunch, but now I pretty much look for this. And then you have the crossing route by the left receiver coming across the middle of the field in case everybody flows to the right side, to the bunch side. So I'll go ahead and try to run it for you guys. That was a terrible read. Goodness gracious, that was a bad read. But I think it's a pretty good play. I'll run it every now and then to try to just pop my opponent with it and make them think about it. That can happen too. You can throw it to the flat, get a nice little, get some blocks since you have the corner and the streak above it. I'll try to hit the crossing route here maybe. I should have actually, that was a terrible throw. I tried to hit the running back in the flat, but I kind of messed up there. I pressed the wrong button. But yeah, really good play. It's easier to make the right read in game because generally I'll know what defense my opponent's trying to run, whereas in practice, them being on a random defense is kind of tough to decipher. Aside from that, like the run play I would run is HB slash fake end around. It's pretty much just an inside zone. Nothing really special about it. I just like it more than the quick pitch and the H zone. Well, the H zone strong. Probably like that one more, but the left receiver comes in, so you can't run it and make it look the same. PA verticals is another play. I would just run that stock. And if it's man, I would look for either the corner or the post route. The corner by the left receiver, the post route by the inside slot receiver. If it's zone, I'd probably try to hit the flat or the corner out by the far right receiver or the check down. I'll go ahead and run it for you guys here. Let's see. So like right there, looked like man, but I just threw that too late. John Brown doesn't have the best route running right there. But he's being covered by a linebacker. I think that's Bjorn Werner, whatever his name is. So it's not really the best example. I don't really run this play often. I always thought that this play could be pretty good, but I have yet to bring it out this year. I think I ran it a few times a couple of years ago, but yeah, my inexperience in running that play was showing there with those terrible reads. Single back doubles, I don't really have much to say about this formation other than 0-1 trap. If you run a lot of like 3 receiver, 1 tight end, 1 running back sets, I would run 0-1 trap out of this rather than single back ace. Although you can't flip it because it's not, well, you can't flip it without your opponent seeing that you flipped it because it's not a symmetrical formation. But this can, if you run a lot of 3 receiver, 1 tight end, 1 running back sets, this formation's better in my opinion because your opponent won't know that you're coming out to run 0-1 trap. Whereas if you're running a lot of like flip trips, say, and you're running 3 receiver, 1 tight end, 1 running back, and you come out in ace normal and it's 2 tight ends, suddenly they're like, okay, it's the new formation, he's running 0-1 trap or something. Whereas in this case, you come out in this formation, they see the same personnel, they think you're in flip trips, break the huddle, you come out, single back doubles, he's like, oh god, what's he about to do? You hit him with an 0-1 trap or whatever. It's just mind games. It's just making your opponent think you're doing one thing, and then after you break the huddle, you're doing something completely different. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this formation. I don't run much else out of it. Tight doubles and wide trips are 2 really good formations that I'm going to run down real quick. Tight doubles for the run game, HB dive and HB cutback. I think cutback's a really, really underrated run. I think it's pretty good if they're not bringing the house. If they bring the house, you're pretty much screwed. But if they're not bringing the house, you get really good blocking, and you can run it to the left or to the right and still get good blocking. So I think it's an underrated run. Actually, whenever I used to run Tennessee, this was pretty much my second most used formation next to flip trips, and I would get some pretty good rushing yards racked up with the HB cutback because people wouldn't really expect it, and I don't think it's a very popular run. And if they're leaving the middle open to defend the cutback or whatever, that's whenever you start hitting them with the dive. The dive's a very, very quick run that you're not going to really break many long runs on, but it's a good 5-yard pop if they're leaving the middle wide open. Passing plays out of here. My favorite passing play out of here by far is the PA zone across. Reason being, you have double crossing routes over the middle of the field that torches man-to-man and gets open against zone. And then you have the two really, really weird corner routes. Hausler's route's pretty much like a deep cross that you see on 4 verticals, except for it's running it to the corner. And then Brown is running that weird angled corner route that you saw in like PA stretch out of Ace Normal. They both the weird corner routes, they can get open against zone. I run this play if or not run the play. I like running the play just as is and trying to hit the crossing routes, but I'll also run this play if I'm in like a 3rd and long situation and I need to take a risk. Throwing those corner routes are kind of risky against zone because defenders have a tendency to jump a lot of routes in this year's game. So it is kind of risky, but it also pays off if they don't jump it or if you get good positioning or something and you're able to make a play and get 25, 30 yards off of it. So I'll try to throw it for you. It might get picked, but I just want you guys to get the idea of like how to throw it and how it works or whatever. So right here, okay. Well, they're in some type of man blitz and John Brown. That's another thing. Both of them beat man-to-man pretty well too, especially if you have good route runners. Generally, I'll just take the check down, take the sure thing to the crossing routes if it's man-to-man. But if you want to take a risk, try to go for a big play, you can definitely hit one of the corner routes. A little bit more risky because sometimes, like randomly, the defender will stay step for step with the receiver. You throw it, he picks it off. So it's kind of risky, but high risk, high reward, I guess, is the best term to describe this play. I was trying to hit Hausler right there, but he got to me. They're in goal line right now. That was a bad throw. I'm going to try to hit this Hausler route for you guys because I think it's really good. They're in goal line again. Just going to get down. Hopefully the defense doesn't come out in goal line again. Okay. So yeah, it's like some type of cover 2 thing. He jumped it. See, that happens sometimes. Sometimes he jumps it. Sometimes he doesn't jump it. I don't know. It's high risk, high reward, like I said. Right there, he almost jumped it. Hausler somehow caught that. I didn't think he was going to catch that. But pretty much what you want to do is you want to throw a pass lead to the sideline and then click on and start running like parallel to the end zone and try to cut it off before the corner can jump it. Like right there, that was against man-to-man. It also works against man-to-man, both the corner routes. That's the great thing about this play. If your opponent likes to play a lot of man, every single route beats man-to-man, and every single route can be thrown against zone. So it's a really tough play to defend, especially off play actions. That's why I like establishing the running game with the dive and the cutback and then hitting them with this whenever they get a little bit too content with defending the run game. And that was the same thing as I was trying to do to the Hausler side, but you just throw it to the other side. Same thing, pass lead outside. Right there, he jumped it. But you guys get the idea. High risk, high reward. Run it if you're in like a 3rd and long, 4th and long, and you think your opponent's going to be playing some type of zone. Or man, obviously. Other plays in this formation that I run, pretty much the only other one is close under. That's like a once or twice a game kind of play. You got a lot of crossing routes over the middle of the field that work really well. If you need a short gain, I'll try to run this, try to hit one of the shallow crosses. If they're playing a lot of man, you can obviously hit pretty much any route on the play. So it's just a good play to mix in, run once or twice a game, because your opponent's going to catch on after you run it like once or twice with that tight alignment. I don't really like either of the other plays that use the tight alignment. The close HB toss gets blown up too much in my opinion, and the close cross is pretty much inferior to close under in my opinion. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Zona wide trip. So last but not least, definitely not least, this is probably the second best single back formation in this playbook next to tight doubles in my opinion. Wide trail, first play, wide trail. That play is super good. Reason being that post route pretty much beats man and zone. Obviously beats man almost every time if you have a good route runner there, and it will also beat zone if it's not like cover 2. If it's cover 2, the linebacker will generally sink deep enough to cover the post, but that's when you hit the trail. And if they're using the trail or something, then you kind of have to make adjustments of your own, maybe put somebody on a slant, or put somebody on a route in the area of where he's taking the user defender from, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's a really, really good play. HB zone weak is a really good run. You can run it to the left or to the right. Much better than like the HB slam, HB draw, in my opinion. Because you have the option of either cutting it to the outside or to the inside. So that's what makes that a really, really good run play, in my opinion. PA slot cross is a very good pass play as well, off the play action, play fake action. You get the crossing route by the slot receiver. Like I said earlier, crossing route's really good. You get the quick hitting flat route from the running back off the play action. You get the deep post from the left receiver and the dig from the right. Honestly, I pretty much never throw the deep post because defenders jump. The way defenders jump routes in this game, I'm not comfortable really throwing deep post very much, unless it's by like a slot receiver, because I feel like they get better positioning. But outside deep posts, I don't really throw, so I usually just put him on a fade and just use him as that spec catch option. So I'll put like Larry Fitzgerald out there, try to spec catch, got the flat, the cross, and then if all that's covered, you can look for the dig coming across the field late in the play. Other plays, PA slot wheel, people say that that's a pretty good play. I generally do not run it over PA slot cross ever because I think PA slot cross is just better. So I don't run it. You can run it if you want. I think it's a pretty good play. It'd be a good play if PA slot cross didn't exist, in my opinion. But yeah, I just think it's outclassed. Other plays that I run, wide receiver screen, and this play is another reason why I really, really like this formation. More and more screens from last year to this year got the blocking kind of gutted, and so now the tackle doesn't pull out and block, and it's only like the receiver and the tight end. But now in this play, the tackle still pulls out and blocks, so it's really, really good in my opinion. You get 3 blockers out there, you get really nice blocking, and so that's what makes this wide trips pretty good in my opinion, because a lot of wide trips now have only the tight end and the slot receiver blocking on the screen. And then the stick series is decent. I probably would never really run it. Stick and slide maybe once a game. If you're really scrambling for a short yardage play, you feel like your opponent's like all over you, you don't really know what to do, maybe run that, because they probably won't be expecting, they'll probably be expecting like Y trail or something, and so you can maybe surprise them with that. I don't know. I don't think I've ever run it in an actual game, but yeah, I think it's worth a try. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I hope all this helps you out. I'll be coming out with the Atlanta highlight in a couple of days. Hopefully, I wasn't sure how long these would take, so hopefully they're a little bit better managed next time. And I had to split this up into 2 videos, and both videos are pretty long. Hopefully next time I can cut it down a little bit, but it's hard to cut it down without like cutting out the quality of the content, because I really want like to explain things to you guys and not leave you guys thinking like, well, wait, he just like said 3 things about the play and then moved on, or he said this was one of the better plays in the playbook and he only talked about it for like 30 seconds or something. So I need to manage time better and try to get better at that, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, please subscribe to the channel if you think you'll like this kind of stuff, and I hope this helps you guys get better, guys. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys.